We therapists really want to help people, but most therapists I know, myself included, often still feel unhelpful in some of our sessions. In this video, you'll learn that this may be caused by a major flaw in traditional therapy training. You'll also learn about a new approach that may help us fix this. The approach is based in science and it's rapidly gaining influence among researchers and practitioners alike. Even the APA is currently releasing a book series on the implementation of this approach into several different therapy models. At the moment, it might be the most promising way to become a more helpful therapist. So if you're interested in improving your helping skills, you may want to keep watching. Now first, what's wrong with our traditional therapy training? Traditional training emphasizes two major components: reflecting and performing. We reflect on our models, reflect on our techniques, reflect on our clients, and reflect on ourselves. And we perform and perform and perform countless hours of actual therapy. Here comes the flaw. For over 40 years, studies keep finding that all of these efforts don't reliably improve our client outcomes. Neither the training itself, nor the supervision, and not even the years of experience. Great advertisement. Become a psychotherapist. Spend several years of your life reflecting and performing and reflecting and performing, and one fine day you too will be as good as before. How can this be? I mean, 40 years ago, a personal computer could hardly play ping pong, and yesterday my smartphone wanted to reschedule an appointment with my dentist. And all the while, therapy training keeps playing ping pong? I know I'm being unfair. Traditional training does provide us with valuable knowledge, but we need a bridge between the lecture hall and the therapy room, right? Luckily, researchers are now trying to build that bridge by learning from other fields. Psychologist Anders Ericsson and his colleagues began examining how experts of various professions like musicians, athletes, surgeons, and more become top performers. To reach their level of skill and to keep improving, they seemed to follow a surprisingly common core set of principles. They engaged in what Ericsson termed deliberate practice. So they practiced. Groundbreaking. But the key insight here isn't just that they practiced, it's how they practiced. While the average performers could spend countless hours on their craft without improving, the experts did improve due to their way of practicing. They had well-defined goals, were often guided by a coach, and this coach looked closely at their progress, gave them feedback, and co-developed a personalized plan for skill acquisition. And maybe most importantly, they used repeated skills rehearsal to keep refining what they do. In your therapy training, how often did you get the chance to repeatedly rehearse specific skills with an expert by your side? In my training, we reflected and we performed with clients, but we hardly ever practiced outside of the therapy room. That's like wanting to learn the piano only by discussing some music theory and then directly being pushed onto the stage. No wonder this often doesn't turn us into the most confident and helpful therapists. So intuitively, deliberate practice seems like a reasonable bridge between reflecting and performing. Therefore, more and more research is being done to find out if the approach is also useful for therapist education. The first findings can give us hope, and many well-accomplished therapy authors now see great potential in the implementation of deliberate practice. In 2018, this book on the topic even received the APA Outstanding Publication Award in the Supervision and Training section. And now the APA is even releasing a book series on deliberate practice for different therapy models like CBT, emotion-focused therapy, motivational interviewing, systemic family therapy, and more others to come. What does this mean for us therapists? Deliberate practice might be a core ingredient in helping us improve. So if you feel bothered by the gap between your therapy knowledge and your therapy skills, this approach might be just the right fit for you. I started getting into it about half a year ago, and I've become so convinced that I formed a small practice group with some friends here in my country. Practicing like this feels weird and really challenging at times, but I always left the meetings thinking that was well invested time. So if you're getting curious but you have no idea where to start, you may want to check out the website of the International Deliberate Practice Society. That's idpsociety.com. You can find many free resources there to learn about the steps you could take to try this approach for yourself. And if you're having a courageous day, You could even sign up for a free online meeting to try deliberate practice with therapists from all over the world. You'll probably even meet people from your country. When I first attended, I was struck by the warm and humble atmosphere, because in the end, we have such a complex job. Isn't it okay to sometimes feel overwhelmed by that? And yet I hope we'll always continue trying to become more and more helpful for our clients. And a good way to start is to embrace the fact that we are all lifelong learners.